Welcome to Tea and Our Lifestyles, everyone. Today we're going to be doing a lot of cooking. Now, one of the things that we're cooking, come on in, Tanya. I'm Rhonda for the ones who are new to Tea and Our Lifestyle, and this is Tanya.
And I'm Tanya.
So we're going to be doing some delicious dishes that are, also healthy for you. But one of the dishes that we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing some rutabagas. And the rutabagas are done without any meat to season it. It's just, and rutabaga is a root vegetable. And a lot of our root vegetables have a lot of different nutrients and minerals in them. And so that's one of our healthy dishes that we're doing today. Okay. Well,
and it's delicious.
And it's delicious.
Vegan, healthy, yummy.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right. And that's it with that. Hello everyone, welcome. Today we are going to be making a rutabaga, a sauteed rutabaga for it's a plant-based diet. We're not using any type of meat or anything like that to season it. It's going to all be plant-based. So the rutabaga, when you get the rutabaga, it comes looking like this. It has like a waxy film on it, and it's really like a root-based plant. And so what we're going to do is you peel the skin off, and usually I start at the top and go down. I cut the ends off. I cut these ends off. Like I cut that off, and I cut this end off, and then I go from top down, and top down, and then eventually it's going to look like this. And then I just cut it like this. I just cut it down with a big sharp knife. I cut it down, making sure that, that has a little spot inside, but we can cut around that. It's still usable. You can still use this rutabaga. It's really hard to cut, guys, but it's okay. You're just gonna have to take your time, especially those cutting it for the first time, because it is a root, okay? So after I do that, I cut it. Then I'm gonna just put that to the side for now. And then eventually, this is what it looks like. It looks just like these cubes, okay? Okay, for those of you who want to know how to cut up the rutabaga, I usually just cut it into little slices like that, little julienne slices, and then I cut it into cubes. It just makes it so much easier to cook when you're sauteing. And so the first thing that I do is that I saute my onions. So now my onions are they're sauteing, and instead of using olive oil, I use sesame oil. And sesame oil will kind of give your base, because it's kind of like a little base that you're using for your rutabagas before you actually put them in. So you actually saute your rutabagas after you saute your onions as well. And it gives it a nice flavor. Okay, like that. Okay, so this is how I cut the rutabagas. I cut the ends off, and then I just start cutting down like that. And it's so much easier to do it that way than trying to pick it up and cut it, because it is wax around it and it has a thick skin on it, and it's kind of difficult to cut. So this is my last rutabaga that I'm cutting to go into our rutabaga vegetable today. Okay. Cut all those little wax areas off. Make sure you get them. All right, ready to cut it up. Okay, next we're sauteing some onions. So we took a whole onion, like a Vidalia onion, and we cut it. And so now we're sauteing that. And then once we saute that, kind of get it a little golden brown a little bit. Then we're going to add in our rutabaga. Okay, so we allowed the onions to get kind of golden brown. Some people may want theirs a little more golden, but this is good for me. So now I'm going to add the rutabagas. And what I've done is I've washed the rutabagas thoroughly, just, you know, put them in a colander and wash them. And then make sure they're all good and wet, because what you're going to do is just let them saute in here with the onions for a little while. And they're going to develop their own liquid. So let's see. Okay, we're going to add the rutabagas. Let's add those in. Those up, let's peel off, because we want those to be added in. Okay, so we put those in. Okay, so we added the rutabagas in. This is what the rutabagas look like before they actually cook. And once they're cooked, then they're going to look a little more orangey. Right now, they're kind of a pale orange, kind of yellow orange. So I'm going to add some pepper. And I don't measure mine. I just, I got to know when I see it, what I like. And then I'm going to add some salt. And I like to add a little, I have the Himalayan salt. That's the salt that I use, the pink Himalayan salt. So we add the salt. Then we're going to add a little bit of sugar to it. I like that. Add a little bit to it. And like I said, I don't measure, I kind of guesstimate. And add a little sugar to it. And we're going to let that saute. And we're going to cover it. And it's going to add its own liquid. And I let that saute for probably about 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes or so, you'll see it starting to develop its own liquid. Then I may add just a cup, or just where the water just comes right at the level of the rutabagas. And then just go from there. Okay, we've let it cook for about 10 minutes, and you see it's a little more orange in color, and it's a little caramelized too. It's a little thicker. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a little bit of water. And you can kind of see it cooking in the side over there. You can see it. There's a little steam coming up, so let's kind of go to the side a little bit so you can see where it's kind of boiling a little bit. And that's just the rutabagas. They're actually, you know, like I said, they create their own liquid. So now we're going to add a cup of water. All right, that's all we need. Just add a cup of water, stir it in a little bit. Mix it up, and see it's about the same level as the rutabagas now, as they've sauteed a little bit. All right, now let's put the top back on it for another maybe 20-30 minutes. Okay, then we have our rutabagas. Okay, everyone, this is the result of our rutabagas. You can still see some of the onions in there. See just a little bit of the water. It's gotten a little thicker, the consistency of it, and it smells, oh my gosh, if you all could smell it, smells so good. So now the rutabagas have softened up a lot, and you're able to cut right through the rutabagas. But if you can see the difference in the color of the rutabaga. But this is a root vegetable. And this fruit vegetable is delicious. If you cook it just like this, you don't have to add a lot of ingredients, as you see. Salt, pepper, sugar are the only ingredients I add to it. And when it cooks down with the onions and it's able to just marinate in those ingredients, you will find that it's great. It's wonderful. Now, some people may want to add garlic powder or different other seasonings to it. But just these seasonings alone, to me, are wonderful. Okay, happy tasting, guys. Until the next time.